they're in Africa. They're lending money to countries to build ports and different infrastructure.
To build what?
Port, harbors.
And what's wrong with that?
And, well, because...
Countries that need ports get ports.
But they're making people dependent on... I mean, I know, it's the same thing that we've done, which is
no, it's
horrible
not.
Around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States.
I'm very concerned lately about China. They are now all over Africa, you know, buying things and investing over there and getting those countries dependent on them and supporting, you know, non-democratic people. And I'm just
like
wondering...
whom?
Well...
We are in a country that supports Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's true. Right. So
suddenly we have a problem with, you know, superpowers supporting non-democratic people?
Yes. I mean, yes, I do. You know, they're in Africa. They're lending money to countries to build ports and different infrastructure.
To build what?
Port, harbors.
And what's wrong with that?
And, well, because...
Countries that need ports get ports.
But they're making people dependent on... I mean, I know, it's the same thing that we've done, which is
no, it's
horrible
not.
Around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States ever was.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. So...
Let me give you an example. Of course they are peddling for influence.
Yeah.
Yeah? But they are non-interventionist. Absolutely non-interventionist in a way that Europeans, the West, has never managed to fathom. When it comes to the influence of China outside its borders, I have to say, firstly, it's quite remarkable that they don't seem to have any military ambitions. Secondly, Africa. I'll give you an example, a specific example. Ethiopia. 2004, because I happened to be there and I have some first-hand experience of it. They went into Ethiopia. I'll tell you why they went into Ethiopia, because they suspected there was oil. Because China is a major industrial power, but it lacks primary resources. Now, instead of going into Africa with troops, colonially, destroying the country, killing people like the West has done for the last 100 years, what they did was they went to Addis Ababa and they said to the government, we would like, we can see you have problems with your infrastructure, we would like to build some new airports, upgrade your railway system, create a telephone system, and rebuild your roads. And we'll do this all for free. No strings attached. We don't want anything from you. And they did. Why did they do it? Because this is soft power. Because because they knew that if oil is discovered, and it was discovered later, then, of course, the Ethiopian government will be much more open to Chinese oil companies coming there. They have never combined their investment with imperialistic... Can you imagine if that was a German company or an American company? That's why I'm saying I don't think you should worry.
Okay, I won't.
And this is Kenyan Explorer, so let's appreciate the speech. Let's appreciate the gentleman. If you agree with me, then let's appreciate the speech that has been made. So we always know, and I always know that whenever we see the Chinese people in African land or in African countries, whenever you see the Chinese guy, you don't have to ask yourself, why is he here? Is he there? Because we always know that any Chinese that are being found in Africa, they are there for a mission. They are there to build up Africa. They are there to bring up the changes of the infrastructures of African countries. And that's why when you take a look at the great bridges and the great roads, the perfect roads and bridges that are found in Africa, the attractive buildings, all of that some unique buildings, including roads, the bridges, they are all built by the Chinese. And these people are doing great in Africa. But have you asked yourself this question? Why are the Chinese not interfering with the African countries, bringing some explosion, coming to exploit some African minerals? causing violence and sort of bad things in Africa. Yet, these people have the power. Not just by now, but the Chinese has the power to do anything with Africa. These people has the power to come and explore, take over and control Africa because they have anything they want. But they never have that chance, they never take that chance to come or use that opportunity to come and take advantage to African countries. Yet they are bringing developments in African countries compared to our colonizers who colonized Africa for a very long time. They benefited during that time until up to date. They are still taking Africa as their own. The people who are still coming to Africa and take anything they feel like, collide with Africa, cause for conflicts, bring violence, and later become behind. They pretend to be the helpers, but in reality, they're the one causing all the problems in Africa. I'm talking about the people from the West. The Chinese, when you compare these two countries, the Chinese has consider humanity than the people from West, because people from the West, since the time they were colonizing African countries, they never take the African people just like human beings. They treated African people like animals. And up to date, they still believe that we are no longer human beings like them. They feel so special than the black people. When you take a look at the African countries, in every African country that you'll visit, there must be a military base that consists of the white soldiers. But you cannot find any military base in Western Africa, in Western or in Europe. You cannot. When it comes to the influence of Africa, the Chinese are in every corner of Africa, but they have never influenced. When we talk about the security, they never deployed their troops here in Africa in any reason. But they are still the one who are coming and build up African countries. Even if they are doing and being paid, but they are being considered as the people who are building up Africa. And that's why, if you can remember, that's just a few years ago when the president of China called a meeting, a summit, and hold the all 54 heads of states of Africa. They all attended this meeting. They all attended the summit without no hesitation. Why? Because of the respect and honor they have with this leader. He has everything. He has the power to do with African countries because he is the one controlling the technology of Africa. He is the one bringing up all type of electronics that Africa is using today. And yet they don't have resources. They don't have resources. They never had that primary resources, but they never took that chance because they are bringing some issues. So we have to respect the China, because China is doing great in African countries compared to to our colonizers. Take up to date. Look at the situation that is in South Africa, fighting with the U.S. The U.S. is the superpower of the world. These are the people who were supposed to guide other states of the world. These are the people who had to bring good direction and guide our African leaders on how to run the economy, on how to unite, on how to do anything that will be a beneficiary to the citizens of Africa. But still, they are the one who come in here to cause violence. We have to condemn this, because at the status and the position that the United States is not at the position of colliding with African countries, because they are great, they are greater and they have to show that greatness they have, but not fighting with the minor cities and countries like Africa. They have to respect, as we respect them, they have to respect themselves. And we have to show love and unite across the borders. So big up to China, because China is doing great in African countries. Even though they are developed, they are the fastest country when it comes to development, but they are considering other people, other states like African who are not yet developed, and helping in 1, 2, 3, and bringing unity and bringing love across the borders. We love you, people from the China. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you agree with me, whatever you are watching from, this Kenyan Explorer, don't forget to subscribe, tune, and stay tuned in this channel for more updates. And stay safe.